Hello everyone, my name is Sid Weldon and today I will show you my inking process. Originally I was going to make a full-fledged speed paint of this, but as I tried recording the coloring process after this line art piece, my camera decided that there was not enough storage to actually make a full-fledged speed paint of this drawing, so rest in peace me. However, at the end of this video I will showcase the work in progress I made on this. However, it will not be the complete drawing, so I apologize in advance. However, it will have some coloring involved, so that might be interesting to look at the end of the video, so feel free to stick around. Anyway, in order to start my inking process, I start with a gel pen. I use one that I got from the dollar store. I go over my sketch lines with a gel pen until I have everything outlined. How I got my sketch onto that piece of paper was, if you can see in the right hand side of the screen, I have the original more detailed sketch of it. I transferred that I sketched that on the back of an old homework assignment from university, and what I did after I drew the drawing of the original piece, I flipped over the scrap paper thing I drew it on and I completely scribbled it out with graphite, and then I placed that piece over the top of the piece I'm currently working on, which is cardstock, and I traced over my lines again with the scrapbook paper on top and the cardstock underneath. And it's really hard to see in the beginning of the video, but I was completely able to see my sketch lines underneath as I started inking, and that is a foolproof way to transfer a sketch from one piece of paper to another without the use of a light box or tracing paper. Tracing paper is pretty cheap though, I highly recommend it, and a good makeshift light box, if you do not have one, is to place your art against a window during daytime and use that to help you trace out your lines and whatnot. So after I am done with the entire outlining of the gel pen, I go in with other thicknesses of pens and I outline specific details that will help me provide more contrast in the future. I tend to color in large spaces of black with really large pens, such as Sharpies, especially jumbo Sharpies, and I like to make certain outlines bolder, particularly hair, pieces of clothing, and outlines of characters in the foreground so that they are more noticeable in the foreground and not blend in so much with the background. There is no universal way to ink a piece, however, that is my general style that I have adopted over the years of much trial and error. I do not have much to say about my inking process beyond that because it is something that I still feel I am working on, but I have become a lot more proud of how I have learned to ink my drawings over the years. I guess if I were to talk about the piece itself, this is of my character Leonora. She is the girl on the right, and her boyfriend Isaac, who is the character on the left. Isaac is a character that my significant other owns, and we roleplay Isaac and all of his crazy adventures. Isaac is a 200-year-old alchemist that learned how to use a rejuvenation potion to continuously reverse himself so that he is very slowed down in terms of aging. Therefore, he is a 200-year-old man, but he perpetually tends to reverse his aging, so he tends to live a lot longer than the average person. And that means he has had a lot of love interests over the time. Leonora was his girlfriend during the 1970s, and she was the one that helped him get his Volkswagen van, which is where he currently lives at this point in the plotline. However, eventually, just shortly after Isaac got his van, Leonora was killed in a black magic summoning accident. She was not a bad witch, however, she tried to do a certain ritual to cast a certain spirit, but it ultimately backfired, and that was what happened to her. And that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I have a lot of characters that I can go very much into. Leonora actually has some of the least backstory. I've already told you most of it. So yeah, this video is going to be wrapping up in about a minute. So if you have enjoyed the inking process so far, I would really appreciate it if you could give it a big thumbs up. And my question of today is, what is something that frustrates you? Because as I have learned anything from today, it's that I am frustrated with how little space I can use to make full-fledged art videos, and that has really hindered my ability to turn this into the full-fledged speed paint I believe this deserved. I hope you enjoyed the art, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day.